Hello everyone, Turner Burner here with another video for you guys. And since I've been getting a little bit back into Horde, and I have a ton of experience from before in Horde, I want to go over a class, Robotics Expert, which is Baird's old class. So I'm going to go over my example stats for Horde and Escape, and I'm going to go over each card individually, as usual. And because of the fact that I don't play Horde like that, and I know a lot of you exclusively play Horde or have far more experience playing Horde, I would like everyone to give their opinion in the comment section on, skill cards they use, Horde and Escape, different situations that people can benefit from. That way people can see this video and look down below, because I doubt that they're going to get the full picture from just this video. They're just going to get my perspective and my analysis. So let's get right into the video. So the Robotics Expert is a master of machines capable of building defenses that are extremely difficult to break. The ultimate ability summons a DNR1 that targets enemies. So just to comment on the role support class, so the purpose of this class is to help your teammates. Specifically, for the most part, it's a Horde class, I'd say. You can make it work in Escape, but I would say it's mostly a Horde class. It's one of the 3 engineering classes. So the Robotics Expert is a master of machines capable of building defenses that are extremely difficult to break. That is like fortifications, sentries, things of that nature to help your teammates win a Horde match, Horde Frenzy, whatever. The ultimate ability is basically his DR1 that helps kill enemies. Sometimes sometimes it works as just a decoy. Sometimes it helps kill enemies. It just depends on the situation and really the game mechanics. Passive ability: build new fortifications at a small discount and carry fortifications faster. If you notice, the Architect, Mechanic, Robotics Expert, they are able to move fabricators, barriers faster than any other class. That's just that's a part of their passive. That's how it always has been. And also they can build fortifications at a small discount, so that's why it's to your benefit in a Horde match to donate your coins. That way they can buy something at a discount as opposed to you buying your own locker. For the most part, there are a few exceptions, but if you are not an engineer and you're buying stuff, you're playing selfish and you're hurting your team for the most part. So get in the habit of communicating with your teammates, asking the engineer how much coins they need, or if it's an early wave, you should be depositing anyway. And then they'll communicate. If assuming they're pretty experienced or whatever, they'll communicate. Okay, it's time to perk up. But that's another story for another video. But for the most part, you want to donate your coins. That way they can buy stuff cheaper for the team, like a sentry or a barrier or a decoy or a locker. So, but yeah, let's get right into the skill cards portion. Okay, so Bloody Support, precision damage hits cause 35% bleed damage when reinforced DR1 is ready. So if it's Horde, you start with your ultimate immediately. It's ready immediately. So when your ult is ready and you don't use your ultimate for, to get out of a situation, to kill a bunch of juvies, whatever, your sniper shots or your precision damage will cause bleeding. So Mark's a Torque M-Bar Sniper. I can't think of much else. They will cause bleed damage, which will help kill enemies. Scions, things of that nature. So that'll help for Horde or Escape. And then because you're doing bleeding, you're actually getting extra damage, so that can help with certain bosses. It just depends. So Global Overclock, all weapon lockers reload 50% faster. Basically, this will help you get ammo faster for your team. It'll also help if, like, JD or Keegan, it'll help them get their explosives faster, like salvo, GL, boom shots. So this is a good card if you want your teammates to have ammo as often as possible. So if you don't have this card on, you may be hurting your teammates, if I'm being totally honest. So Combat Engineer, repair 330% faster. We're repairing lasts for longer than 2 seconds continuously. So repairing with this class, I believe, is better than the other 2 engineering classes. So you're more efficient. You're not at a barrier or sentry as long, things of that nature. So it allows you to possibly have a bigger build because you can repair things and go and shift to the next fortification without sacrificing fortifications, because you're not repairing things fast in between or during waves. So very good card to have on. Precision repairs, precision kills, heal all fortifications for 1500 HP. I believe this also brings back completely destroyed fortifications, so it's very, very good in that regard. Also, this helps you repair things faster, and it's more versatile as far as the engineering classes. You're able to get kills to get healing on your fortifications, and since it kills them all at once, or sorry, if one kill heals all of them, that helps everything at once. So if you have a bigger build, depending on the map, that can help you repair things a lot faster than if you didn't have this class on. So I think in Horde, only Horde really, this is almost a mandatory card to have on in my estimation. Global Sentry upgrade, all sentries do 35% more damage. This does not pertain to shock sentries, just the MG sentries, to be very specific. This is very good to help Sentinels, Guardians not regen health if they're just spamming at the shield. Obviously sentries kill downs, things of that nature. So very, very good card to have on, and one of the main cards I always have on just to do more damage with this class. Bloody DR1, summon DR1, cause 110% bleeding damage. I really don't use this card for Horde. I think the DR1's not reliable enough to actually get kills for Horde, but for Escape, since I can't use like global overclock or precision repairs, I have no problem having this card on to help me get out of a situation, or if you saw my recent Ice Queen solo run, to help me do that as well. So I believe this card is good mainly for Escape, not so much for Horde, but that's my opinion. So you let me know if you use this card for Horde instead of one of the cards that I use for Horde. So Epic Score Boost speaks for itself. Increased team score in Horde, and increased time bonus in Escape. Experimental weapons, 100% increased DB heavy weapon damage to heavily wounded enemies. So I'm not sure if this was always specified, but 100% increased damage. If you're using an overkill at M-Bar, I believe it extends all the way to salvo, tri-shot, shock grenades, almost positive, enforcer. You'll do 100% more damage if they have less than 50% health. So this can help you one-shot, pretty high health enemies. So that can accelerate things and allow you to kill things faster before we move to the next section. So the reason I say sections because I use this mainly for Escape as opposed to Horde. Because in Escape, like if you saw the split, I have you get M-Bar immediately. So this can be very useful to one shot different types of enemies. But it depends on the context. But for the most part, I think this is also an Escape card. But it just depends on how you play. You could bring this to Horde if you weren't running a global overclock for some reason. That way you did more damage. That allowed you to get better healing on repairs, but it's totally up to you. I think this card has versatility, but for the most part, I use it for Escape. Homebody, if I'm being totally honest, is a card I've never used, but you get damage resistance near taps. So if you're playing Frenzy or even 1 through 50, you should be setting up as best you can near as many taps as you can because they give you health anyways. So the fact that you get damage resistance as well allows you to essentially get even more health on top of that. So if you're running this card, I honestly don't know what you would swap out. I want everyone to chime in and give me their opinion on Homebody. But if you're running this card, that can only help yourself, especially if you're trying to repair something and you're getting hit, things of that nature. You're going to have more health from the taps, and then the Homebody will allow you to get an additional damage resistance. So, good card, I would say. I've heard people in my circle say it's a good card, and I think they take off Global Overclock. But overall, when I did my recent Horde match, I didn't have this card on because I liked the other cards more. So anyway, explosive kill shot, killing down but not out enemies. That's what DBNO stands for. Deals 55% damage to surrounding enemies. This is basically, I've tried this in Escape for execution rule type maps, like the barracks, things of that nature, but this card is more for Horde. So there's execution rules in Horde on all the maps because they have the same modifiers except for the especially daily hordes. But ultimately, what you want to do is if a sentry downs an enemy, it will cause an explosion to surrounding enemies. That's what will happen. So as opposed to a sentry downing something, or since you have, let's say you have precision or blaze support on, let's say you bleed an enemy from a distance and they go down, that the explosive kill shot will kill them and at least damage surrounding enemies. So good card mainly for Horde. Don't know what you'd swap out from my stack, which I'll go over later. But it's up to you if you want to run it. Melee resistance I use definitely for Escape, and I just actually recently started using it because I before had explosive kill shot, but melee resistance is super good card to get damage resistance all the time. In my recent Ice Queen solo run, I don't get it, even though 2 juvie swipe still downs me. The initial swipe that the juvie hits me doesn't put me to almost no health. So this helps me allow to get out of a situation without being full red. Like I can get hit. I still can't get hit twice, at least from a juvie standpoint. But I can, something that's common with juvie, combinations with, getting hit by a distance. If a juvie hits you and then you get hit by a stray bullet, it kills you. So if something of that nature happens, or a juvie hits you and I still get hit by that bullet, I have more health to go than if I don't have this card on. So I do like this card a lot for Escape, just to have more wiggle room in certain encounters. Nerves of Steel, I haven't used this in probably since Operation 2. Repair fortifications 200% faster when enemies are within 10 meters. I couldn't imagine how absurd it would be if an enemy was within 10 meters and you had this on. That would be 530% faster, so that would be extremely fast. But honestly, on Master, I mean, it's probably a really good card if it's used properly, or if you almost exclusively repair with enemies nearby. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on Nerves of Steel. I haven't used it in a very long time, to be totally honest. So let me know your thoughts on Nerves of Steel. Parting Gift, 100% increased damage with grenade tags. That includes shocks, incense, and fire grenades. I don't think it includes flashbangs, because that doesn't really make any sense. Since flashbangs don't do any actual damage, it just stuns. So I'm assuming it's just those 3. So I haven't used this card. I don't know if I've ever used this card because I can't. Because typically, if you frag tag on Master, it doesn't kill the thing you frag tag. But if you're nearby, and I'm speaking from more of an Escape perspective, but if you're nearby the enemy you frag tag, you're liable to die yourself, and the enemy is liable to continue living. I've seen it happen far too many times. So I don't recommend frag tagging as a concept anyway, but if you absolutely need to, or if you're doing it as a joke, you can have this card on. Enforcer Porting, 95% reduced recoil and Enforcer. I mean, if you are using the Enforcer as Baird, you can use this card if you absolutely need to, but I can't think of the game-changing aspects of using the Enforcer that much. I mean, there's an Enforcer on Malfunction, Detour, but you really wouldn't bring this class for the most part to those maps because of the context of the whole maps, where Detour's a bunch of juvies, Malfunction you could bring this card, but because of the Malfunction and all the DB weapons and even all the sniping, you'd use other cards. So this is probably one of the weaker cards of this class. I don't use it. I haven't used it in a while. I mean, but I just don't see the value in it, and not anymore. If I used it, so heavy resistance, 32% damage resistant to heavy weapon damage. This includes buzzkill, salvo, tri-shot. I don't think it includes cryo. I could be wrong now, but for the most part, when it comes down to resistance of this nature, it is like if a Sentinel hits Baird and he has his card on, it's doubtful that he'll survive the first shot without being down. You can try it, but I typically see these heavy resistance cards more useful for like Mulcher. You get like a little bit more time, or like a DR1 with a tri-shot, or or was it Protector. Not sure. The salvos you typically get downed anyway. This may help you with a Guardian, but I think it just depends on what the heavy weapon is, that if it'll save you or not. So, because I think for the most part, those salvo shots coming from salvo scions, sentinels, or the devastators, they typically down you anyway, regardless of what you have on. And that goes for most classes. So I couldn't imagine this class being a game changer in any regard. So I don't really run it, to be totally honest. So if you have better experience with this card, you let me know. Inspired Sniping. Sniper hits reduce ultimate cooldown in multiples of 1.6 seconds. M-bar hits within, or long shot M-bar hits within 4 seconds of each other reduce ultimate cooldown multiples of 1.6 seconds. It's not much time, but certain contexts in Escape, I run this card just to get to the bloody support as quickly as possible, or just to get to the bloody DR1 as quickly as possible, because it is useful to get that ultimate at minimum as a decoy, because it sometimes doesn't kill anything in Escape, but at minimum as a decoy, it's useful to get to that ultimate. So on Ice Queen, I ran this card. So I don't think it's good for Horde relative to his other options, but you can correct me wrong down below if you think it is a good Horde card. But I think it's a terrible Horde card in my opinion. So last but not least, score boost, increased team score in Horde, and increased time bonus in Escape. So that is it in my standpoint of Robotics Expert. Good class for Horde and Escape. It's a good class all the time for Horde, and it depends on the map for Escape. Let me go over some example stacks. I should just have them ready, so I should be able to slide right into it. So for Horde, what I ran in my Horde Frenzy daily yesterday was this. Combat Engineer, repair 330% faster and longer repairs. Bloody Support, precision damage, causes 35% bleed damage when reinforced DR1 is ready. Global Overclock, precision repairs, and Global Sentry. So if you are the type of person that, as an example, is getting precision kills, and I'm not the best about it, so I may sometimes take this card out, or be more intentional about getting kills. But if you're the type of person that is, compared to the other engineering classes, if you want to get more sniper type kills, and you want to be like a versatile engineer, you can use this class. I think it's a good class to use, and you can use these skill cards as a starter. I know you need to, level up or whatever, but this would be a good stack if you want to, if you want to do it on Master, Horde, or Escape, Horde on Frenzy or 1 through 50 level. Just is up to you. So for Escape, let me get to that class. So for escape, what I do is, and this pretty much doesn't change, but I'd have to double check, but pretty much is always this: bloody DR1, bloody support, experimental weapons, inspired sniping, and melee resistance. This stack is extremely useful for escape. The melee resistance I just recently started using, and it's really helpful to not to absorb an initial hit without getting down. Super nice. But that is it for the robotics class. If you have questions on this class, or if you want to cover something that I did not mention, comment down below. But as always, thanks for listening and thanks for watching, guys. And you guys have a good one. And also, just as a tidbit, if you guys are interested, because I'm trying to put together another Horde challenge because that's just who I am and I can't help myself. I'm trying to put together a Center of Gridlock and a Center of Clock Tower Horde challenge. It's going to be a 1 through 50. Don't know when exactly I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try to get that done as soon as possible. Just to do something interesting to get myself, to do a Horde match, and you guys can view it when it's done. But so yeah, if you're interested in Horde challenges, comment below. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.